Hi, folks. It's Jim from New Hampshire Card Hunters. And in our latest video, we're going to be opening up some 2021 Heritage Baseball. We got, let's see, one hobby box here. And we also have 6 hanger boxes. The hobby box has 24 packs, 9 cards per pack. And the hanger boxes have 35 cards, and we'll be looking for, well, in the hobby, we'll be looking for either relics or autographs, and we'll see what the hangers provide. Hopefully, we'll get a little extra out of that. So, yeah, so that's what we got. We'll get it going here in a second. We got the first lady of baseball with us to ride out the break, so why don't we get right into it here and start the festivities. See how Heritage is going to treat us. I really like this set. It's the 72 set, which is near and dear to me because back in 1972, I was opening up these cards and I really enjoyed the set. I mean, brings back a lot of memories. Oh, here's our box topper right here. Let's take a look at that first. We got Nate Pearson. Check out the back. There he is. Yeah, Nate Pearson. Oh boy. Yeah. So I really enjoyed opening up these 72s when they first came out. And of course, you know, it's a whole different way of approaching these sets now. You know, back in '72, there were, I think, 7 series, and the series came out at all different times of the year. And generally speaking, they would, you know, you'd get the first series in like April or something like that, and then you'd go May and June and July and August and so on. And by the time you got to the, let's say, the 7th series, you know, you'd be into football season. So that's part of the reason why the high numbers in the 72s, the original 72 sets, weren't as widely available because they just didn't make as many of them. Probably because they knew it was conflicting with their football products at the time. Because back in the 70s, Tops had all 4 of the sports. They had hockey, baseball, basketball, and football. So yeah, so they were sort of juggling balls here, and I think I would imagine that because they had more than one particular one particular sports card, that they had to sort of, you know, figure out quantities and so forth. So anyway, just a little background on the 72s, the original 72s. All right, let's get things going here. Now, hopefully we'll get something, get a good autograph, or at least a reasonably good relic. First card out of the rack is Max Scherzer, and we got Trey Turner, Brandon Lau in action, Alec Bohm in action, rookie though, Randall Grichuk, Joey Wendell. There's one of our inserts. It's the great one, Roberto Clemente. Nice shot of him. Adam Hensley. Jackie Bradley Jr. Oh, boy.
Ah,
Jackie Bradley Jr. Now,
such a defensive talent.
oh, my God. He's probably, I would say without question, he's the best defensive player I've ever seen in center field. And I've seen a lot of them, including Fred Lynn and, you know, Ken Griffey Jr. and you name it. Jackie made it look. You know, the thing about Jackie was he always made it look so easy. When other guys have to really strain to make a catch, you know, he just made it look. He was just gliding out there.
Sadon's getting there.
Yeah. Oh
Sadon's
yeah.
right up
Oh
there.
yeah. Second pack, Kyle Schwarber. Nolan Arenado in action. Jerickson Provad. Now there's a guy right there who's having just a fantastic season right now. So San Diego got him for
So,
pennies on the dollar. Keston Hiura, Alex Cobb, J.D. Davis, Devin Williams, John Lester, Jacob Junis.
John Lester,
John Lester.
flash from the past.
Yep, he was part of the World Series team. One of them. Pack number 3. You know, and obviously we'll be looking for the rookies in here, and we know that we'll see some of the names. Jesus Luzardo, Hunter Dozier, Javier Baez, Taro Estrada, Danny Jansen, Cody Bellinger, Scott Heineman, and there's Acuna. That's a nice shot of him. Martin Perez. There he is, Martin Perez. The man, he's everywhere. He's everywhere and nowhere. Okay, moving on. What do we have here? Let's see. We got the Dodgers rookies. Keibert Ruiz, who's playing for Washington right now, and Mitch White. Miguel Rojas. Here's the boyhood photos. Yeah, when these came out in '72, I mean, some of these were just great.
That's
you know,
funny.
like Dave McNally and Willie Stargell, guys like that. Whit Merrifield, Luis Robert. Yeah, Cardinals stars, rookie stars. World Series Game 1. There's Mookie. Looks like that card got a little banged up right there. Or is that a... Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it might be...
It's a blemish.
Yeah, it's got a manufacturing mark on there, printer's mark. Charlie Blackmon, C.J. Cron, Pete Alonso. So far, it's been pretty vanilla, huh? You know, and there's a lot of errors in here. There's different variations. There's the no name. There's the missing stars. There's the nicknames and so on. So hopefully we'll get a few of those types of card, 1 or 2 anyway, some variation. Joey Votto, 2020 NL strikeout leaders. Here's Jacob deGrom, Nola, Rookie of the Year award. Bo Bichette.
Good player.
Yep. Just starting to get it going again. Rio Ruiz. Flashbacks. K-Line delivers game-winning RBI in the East Division clincher. Kitty Cat. Nick Ahmed. Adam Engel. Yeah. So this is like I said, this set, you're not going to see a lot of numbered cards other than the chrome for the most part. You might get a numbered relic or something like that. I can't remember if there was many numbered relics in here. Spencer Howard, Garrett Hampson, Justin Verlander, in action, Kyle Lewis. He was a dud. 2020 AL strikeout leaders is Bieber. The first 2 guys are recovering from arm surgery, and Garrett Cole did have an arm problem. Alec Boehm, rookie stars. Gregory Polanco, Austin Slater, Rick Porcello, Cy Young Award winner. He was great. That 1 year he had with us, man, next level. Always won a lot of innings, 8 up innings for us. Fantastic pitcher. And we got the AL ERA leaders, American League. Shane Bieber, Keiko, Bassett. Mike Yastrzemski. Kenta Miata, Cronenworth. And Tigers rookies. Not too much there. Robbie Grossman. Anacarte. Brett Anderson. Eric Timms.
How many years has Mike Yastrzemski been in the league now?
He was in the American League first with the Orioles, I believe, and then the Giants picked him up. He's found a home over there. He's not a bad player. He's a good defensive guy. He's not gonna wow you with the bat, average wise. But he does hit a few home runs here and there, and he does come up with some big hits. 2020 NL postseason. Tatis, 2 home runs, secure win. Danny Duffy, another one. Wow, Dodgers advance. Alberto Mondesi, Garrett Cole, there he is. That's the big gun. Randy Dobnik.
A nod to the Mets here for roughing up the big gun.
Right, yeah, right. The Mets are starting to get hot all of a sudden, and
Yeah.
they beat up on the Yankees pretty good in that 2-game
Yeah, they
series. Jose Osuna, Justin Verlander. That's a nice shot of Verlander,
Yeah, it is.
isn't it? Yeah. Boy, Gregory Soto. So far, it's pretty tough sledding over here.
Hey.
Yeah, I'd like to get. Still got 2 more stacks here, but let's start to get a little action. Right now, we haven't really seen a whole lot, but who knows? We'll see. Renato Nunez, Nico Horner, Bo Bichette again, Mike Trout in action. It's a good one. These puzzle pieces are very
I remember that.
Yeah, similar to the
Yeah.
72 set. Yeah, Paul Goldschmidt, Carson Kelly, Ben Gamel. 2020 World Series Game 6. Mookie showing off.
Mhm.
He must have hit a big one there. Tommy La Stella.
Yeah, he's not generally one to really showboat too much.
No, but he's right.
But he's passionate, so if something big happens, you'll see it.
Yeah, right now he's out with a hand injury that got hit by the pitch. Can't remember who hit him, but Starling Marte, William Contreras, Daniel Hudson, Alec Mills, Jesus Sanchez. Let's see here. NLAL rookies. Yeah, Tyson Miller, Jimmy Lambert, Luis Robert, All-Star rookie. Jose Quintana and Alex Verdugo. Our Yankee. He had some good days with us, but he's on a team that certainly is looking like a playoff team, unless they collapse, which I can't imagine with all that lineup they have with
Well, they shouldn't.
with Judge and Volpe and Verdugo and Giancarlo Stanton and Soto,
Well,
and
it's
you
an
go right down
all-star
the
team.
line. Right, it is an all-star team. 2020 AL RBI leaders. As you can see, Trout's in there. Abreu. Astros released Abreu. Man, he just collapsed. Spencer Howard, Cody Bellinger in action. Josh Donaldson. Josh Hader. Mauricio Dubon. Oh, here we go. Right here. Look at that.
It's a
Nice
auto.
Chaz Chisholm autograph. That is a nice on-card autograph right there, folks. That's a good one. That's not for pulling the autographs. Yeah, is it the best one in the world? No, but it's certainly not a bad one. We'll
Yeah.
Jose Abreu and Joe Kelly. Should be checking for like variations and stuff. I didn't think I saw any. I mean, the no name and stuff that'll show right up, but nicknames, things like that. Yeah, put that right here. There we go. Not bad, not bad. We got one auto, so that's our hit.
True.
That's our hit. But hey, who knows? We should have a.
Lightning could hit strike and twice.
I've seen them. I've seen it happen. I've seen more than one autograph in heritage boxes. It does happen. So I would say they probably every 20, 30 boxes or so, they might throw an extra one in there. Aaron Judge, Jorge Alfaro, Colton Wong, Yadi Molina, Austin Riley, the great one, Clemente. He's got this whole series in there. Kevin Newman, Javier Baez, Lucas Giolito. Man, we could use him too. And if we had him as a number 5 guy or a number 3 guy or wherever you want to slot him, I would say he's closer to the top than he is the bottom. So that would have been a real nice pickup for us. I mean, as far as, instead of coming up with the arm injury. Brady Singer, Will Myers, Luis Garcia, Matt Chapman, Jose Barrios. People pronounce his name. For a while, they were calling him Barrios. Now it's Barrios. Archie Bradley, Mike Soroka. I think he's with the White Sox. John Birdie, Ryan McBroom. It's a good baseball name. Where is he now? Ryan McBroom, right? Where is he? I don't know. I don't recognize the name.
Swept away.
Yeah, he's probably somewhere, but he could be out of baseball, I suppose. But Hanser Alberto, Miguel Rojas. That's a nice shot of Miguel Rojas. His action shot. Zach Davies, Trey Turner. That's a good shot of him too. Nathan Eovaldi. What a competitor. How about that game in the World Series when he went 9 innings? I don't know. It was 7 innings, 7 or 8 innings, something like that. He got the loss, but still, Well, I mean,
left it all out there.
Saved the bullpen, and then they finished him off. Abraham Toro, Framber Valdez, Chad Kuhl. All right, what else we got here? We should be seeing a Chrome card coming up. We still got a few packs to go, but Josh Bell, Rafael Iglesias, Zach Godley, Anna McCutcheon, Nolan Arenado. I wanted to point out a couple things that I noticed with looking at these 72s, and that if you look right here on this O, the tops when they did this, you can see how they didn't quite the
shading.
Well, you're right. The two O's are too close together, number one. And then number two, as you can see right here with this O, you can see the black that follows the letter all the way up, but it doesn't follow it up all the way here, right? So I noticed that when I was looking at some of these 72s. And the other thing you're going to notice with the 72s is that in the original 1972s, when you look at the A's cards, it was just the A's. It wasn't the Athletics. And when you see some of the athletic cards here, they're going to say Athletics across the board instead of A's. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody noticed that. I did because, again, I'm from that era. So Jonathan VR, Jeff McNeil, Brian Anderson. Let's see if they... Usually, yeah, like if it's going to be a variation, it's usually I think the third card from the end of the pack. I think. I'm pretty sure. Something like that. Third or fourth card. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Whoop. Move it about. Here we go. There we go. It's better. Hanser Alberto, Estefan Florio, and Clark Schmidt, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and 2020 World Series again, Shane Bieber, Miguel Andujar. What we got here? Yeah, see where the insert is right here? The third card in the back.
Yeah.
Jim Palmer and Garrett Cole. That's what I was telling you about earlier, the then and now cards.
Yeah.
I like those. It's a nice touch. I mean,
That's cool.
It's not numbered, but
Hey, to be on the same card with Jim Palmer,
right.
That's pretty cool.
Right. All right. Going to the third stack. Stack attack. See what we got in this orange. Oh my God. Will Smith.
Funny.
Yeah, that's a nice little shot of him. Justin Upton, Willie Mays, World Series MVP, Wilma Flores, Taylor Williams, Chris Bassett.
Yeah,
Steven
it said the
Souza.
Athletics on the top. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah.
In the original 72s, it was just the A's, right? And I don't know if it was because Topps didn't think they had the room. Obviously, they've done it with these. But when you look at the lettering ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Mrs. Card, sports card collector, you're going to find that the lettering is bigger in the 72s when they had the A's than it was with what you're seeing here. In order to get all of these letters on there, they had to reduce the font, right?
Makes sense.
And right, if you look at the Cubs, for instance, see how much bigger.
Yeah.
See how much bigger that the Cubs letters are, as opposed to the Athletics, right? And so I don't know if Topps did this on purpose, that they decided to say, okay, we'll get the whole name on here, or did they just, when trying to look at the 72s, went right by the A's and saying someone just blew it and said, because if you're trying to get as close to right on the original set, right?
You'd want A's.
Right, you'd want the A's and not the Athletics. Steven Souza. And what we got here? Astros. Nobody of any consequence. Lance Lynn. Yeah, so those are a couple things that I noticed. And, you have the, you had back in 72, like with the Cubs, you saw like, if we see another one, I'll point it out. But with the Cubs cards, they had a few of the particular players. I'm assuming when they made this set, they just blew it, and they had, like, instead of having the same coloring under with all the letters, a few of the guys had like a little more green than they did pink. So yeah, and those 72 cards, those short print ones that were the errors. I mean, they corrected the problem, so there's only a finite amount of them out there. I would say a much smaller amount, and those cards go for big premiums. Marco Gonzalez, Kenley Jansen, and we got the AL, NL rookies again. Ian Anderson, Christian Javier. Yanks rookies. Mookie Betts, Max Scherzer, Dylan Carlson, Yandy Diaz, and pitching leaders. AL pitching leaders. All right, working our way through here. We got about 5 more packs in this hobby box. And we'll be taking a brief break to talk about a couple of things regarding the sport of baseball and some of the changes that they made. We talked about that in the last episode that we did, and there was one thing we left out, so we want to talk about that a little bit, and then we'll talk about all the pitching injuries for just a brief little while. Matt Olson, that's a good one of Matt. Boyhood photos. Brad Keller, Austin Hayes, Albert Pujols, Tommy Edman, Marlins rookies. Chris Sale. Okay, so what's Sale looking at? Is he looking at the ball, or is he looking over here somewhere, or what's going on there? Because he almost looks like he's looking cross-eyed at you. He's like, he's got the ball, and he's like looking at somebody over here, like I don't know if the photographer, there's another guy over there making a face at him or what, but he's trying to look serious, but he's got that cross-eyed look on his face.
A Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. It's like, what's going on there? 444. Yeah. So yeah, Shohei Ohtani. And there are short. I'm sure there are short prints in here. I think they're from 400 to 500. That's probably why that was the third card. So you'll get those at random in the packs.
I really like these.
Yeah, Chris
cool.
Bubic, Aaron Nola, Jorge Soler, Molina, Ryan Mountcastle in action, Jesse Winker, Pete Fairbanks, Dylan Carlson, Andrew McCutcheon, 105. They changed the short prints in the latest Heritage. They went to the front instead of the back. So like, the first 100 cards are the short prints, whereas opposed to this particular set, they're in the back. The last 100. Justin Hira. Matt Chapman in action. Ian Happ. Casey Mize. Tarek Skubal. Joe Adell. Boy, Joe Adell, he's got mammoth power, but he just, boy, he struggles. Nick Castellanos. Oh, we got something upside down. What's this? Nate Pearson. Okay, what am I missing here? What's it say? Oh, it's an action shot. Oh, okay, it's a variation. This is an action. If you look right here, I don't know how well you can see it. Probably can't see it all that well, but it says action right here. And
You turn around and
yeah,
he's not doing much.
yeah. Well, it's probably it probably got a headshot of him in his original photo. I don't know if we already saw him in the box, but we'll have to keep a lookout for Pearson, see if he's got Escobar, Brian Hayes, Jose Garcia. What were you gonna say?
No, who's the guy in the top?
Oh,
card
Pearson,
there?
right? But that
Maybe.
But, yeah, that's the same photo. That's the same photo.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah, that's just a right. Right. But he must have another. He must have another variation, because otherwise, it must be a headshot or something.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. 3 more, and then we're take a little break. Nick Castellanos, RBI leaders, AL. Eloy Jimenez, Hyunjin Ryu, Gio Gonzalez, flashbacks. These are these are kind of neat. They just they're about in the era, right?
The time period.
Right, the time period. President Harry Truman passes away. He was a good president. Yeah. Remembering Harry Truman,
Nice.
last survivor of the Great World War II. Political leaders, died of organ failure at 88. Wow. Yeah, he took over for Lyndon Johnson. Sean Manaea, Dominic Smith. All right, 2 more. All right, rolling down the line. Let's see here. ALNL rookies again. Mateo and Olivares. Tatis. Hopkins. Hernandez. Clayton Kershaw. Jake Cave. Justin Turner. DJ LeMahieu. Julio Teheran.
Talk about a guy that can reinvent himself, Justin Turner.
Everywhere he goes, he's carried teams. He's carrying the Blue Jays right now. I mean, up until recently, Guerrero and Bo Bichette decided they're going to wake up and help the team out a little bit, Mookie Betts in action. That's a nice shot of Mookie, huh? Getting ready to unleash on one. Miguel Cabrera. Herman Marquez. Pete Alonso in action. Where's the ball? Right there.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to get him. Lane Thomas. Fernando Tatis Jr. John Gray. Look at him. Look at how serious he looks here. I don't know.
Go.
I don't believe that is his normal, crouch stance. Like when he's on the mound,
no.
Pitching out of the stretch. I don't believe so. It looks like he's just okay. Get down there, make it look good. All right, how's that look? Okay, yeah, all right, great. Howie Kendrick, Adam Wainwright. All right, so that's the end of the first box, ladies and gentlemen, and now we're gonna. Let me just grab this thing. Drop one of my wrappers. Yeah, we talked about the rule changes in the last episode that we did. One of them that we didn't cover, we did cover the pitch clock and bases and things like that. We didn't talk about mound visits and how they're limiting 5 mound visits per game, and then if you're in the 9th and you've used all your mound visits, then you get 1 additional mound visit. I love this rule because they really needed to do this for a number of reasons. Not not to first mention that it was slowing down the game, but you had guys, and I can remember like going back 2004 or something like that when they had let's see, the Yankees had Mel Stoudemire in there. And Mel Stoudemire, folks, if you haven't seen Mel Stoudemire in action as a pitching coach, I tell you got to go back and watch this guy, because he was out there, literally out there, like every 10 minutes when his people were on the hill, because they didn't have the minimum three guys that you needed to throw to as a reliever when you came in the game. So you could come in, throw to one man, then another guy comes in, throws to one or two guys, and then another guy throws. So by the time you're done your game, you've completed the ball game. Let's say you've got 7 or 8 men that are probably got in this game, and maybe they only pitched to one person or 2 people or something like that. But every time there'd be like a pinch hitter would come up, or they'd put somebody else in the game, or there was a guy on base, here comes Mel Stoudemire, right? I mean, he'd be out there all the time. He'd come up and say, hey buddy, how you doing? You okay? Everything all right? Here, let me pat you on the back for a while. Okay, take a deep breath. You're gonna be fine. We got, all right, this is what I want
like
you to do.
League.
Yeah, this is what I want you to do. Come on over. I want to talk to you. Oh, let's get everybody else from the infield in here too, even though they're gonna absolutely give you nothing to the conversation. They're going to add nothing to the conversation, but we want them all around here so we can all have a, group hug and sing Kumbaya. It's like, it's like, come on, man, stop that stuff, right? Jeepers,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
I don't have anything to add to that, because some of these pitching coaches, I can't remember what team it's for. Is it Tampa? The
Yeah,
guy
Kyle
takes,
Snyder.
Oh my God, he takes forever
Jim
to get
Hickey.
out there.
Jim Hickey.
Oh my God.
Talk about a guy who had like the slowest trot out there. It looked like I don't even know how to explain it. It was like the slowest. I don't know if it was Kyle Snyder or if it's him, but I think it was one of those guys. They'd have this very long, very slow, elongated. It wasn't a walk, but it was a little more than a walk.
Well,
but
it's not Kyle Snyder then, because he.
Yeah, it must have been Hickey.
Walks out there.
Right.
It's
right.
like, really, dude, come on. So yeah, it needed to be done. They were just, they needed some more time and to warm somebody up. Oh, I'll go out and visit after every pitch.
Right.
Until we get him.
And then on top of all of that, then they'd say to the catcher, after sometimes they'd send the catcher out there first, right? And he would talk to him, and then the catcher would go back in, right, behind the plate, and then here comes Mel Stoudemire, So look, I understand back then that the rules that the teams took advantage of the rules, and rightly so. If they were able to do that to give their guys a chance to warm up, so they'd be ready to go in the game, or to get them out of the game earlier, let's say, by stalling for 5 or 10 minutes, then it certainly worked. But it added, for a Red Sox Yankees game used to run like 4 hours. It would be unbelievable. Sometimes 4 hours, 20 minutes, 4 hours and a half, depending if it was a slugfest, right? If it was like a 10-9 game or something like that. But
yeah, that needed to change.
It needed to change. So
Good that they did.
Well, in retrospect, when you really analyze how they looked at this, they still allowed the absolute, minimal 5 times to go out there. So it isn't like they took it away totally.
Right.
But, in the old days, like when guys like Bob Gibson would be out on the mound, and Tim McCarver was his catcher, and Tim tells this story about as good as anybody. He said, well, he'd go out there to, the manager would send him out there, or the pitching coach would signal him to go out to talk to Bob Gibson. And he'd go out and talk to Bob Gibson, and Bob Gibson would say, "What the hell are you doing here? Get back behind the plate. I don't need to talk to you." Well, and he basically berate him, and he would say, "Look, don't even bother. Don't come out here again. All right." And so McCarver would go back, and he'd get behind the plate, and put down the signals, and here we go, right? But yeah, I mean, so in the old days, they didn't have this, hey, the catcher's going to go out there and talk with them, or yeah, there were, I'm sure, conversations at times, but for certain pitches, they knew what they wanted to throw,
Right.
when they wanted to throw it, and they know who they were pitching to all the time. They knew these guys better than they knew themselves. So yeah, so we wanted to talk about that for a few minutes because I feel like that's another big one that I have to applaud Major League Baseball for changing. I think that really has helped speed up the time. And then the one other thing was when a batter, and I think we talked about this a little bit. You can have one particular time where you can call time, right? After
Right.
that, and we covered that in the last episode. But yeah, so they get that one opportunity to step out of the box,
Clear their
get their head together, fix everything up right, look good for the camera.
Or mix or throw a curveball at the pitcher, right?
Right.
The pitcher's getting into their head, or the pitcher's getting into a groove. They need to break that up. So I get that.
Right, and if you've got
You know.
someone like Chris Sale out there who likes to throw every
Just
20
keep
seconds,
going,
right?
keep going, yeah.
you know,
But you got to be careful with that too, because that can backfire. Because you get Chris Sale pissed off because you called the timeout.
sure.
You're likely to get a little, what I would call a bumblebee.
Yep,
He's gonna come buzz you.
yep,
Just shut up and hit.
yep. Okay, so folks, I think we've pretty much beat that one down pretty good. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, and this has been getting a lot of attention, is the number of pitching injuries that have happened in baseball and continue to happen in baseball. And a lot of people, primarily, I've heard the MLB Players Association talk about this. They blame the pitch clock on the amount of injuries that are happening in baseball. And I couldn't disagree more with that assumption. I mean, if you look back, and I think if you pick out one team in general that you might say was the start of all this, I think it would probably be Tampa Bay or maybe Houston, because they were sort of the leaders that decided to look at, let's say, spin rate, velocity rate, and so on. And because of that, guys like Charlie Morton and some of these other pitchers and would be able to throw at a higher velocity, fastball, curveball, slider, etc. And they were way more effective than they ever were in their whole career. I mean, if you go back and look at Charlie Morton's career, Charlie was sort of this middle of the road guy for a number of years, and all of a sudden Houston got a hold of him, and the next thing we know, all of a sudden he's winning 15 games, right? He's a 15-game winner. And so when these injuries started happening, I think people sort of shrugged it off. The major league team sort of shrugged it off. But when you had this mass amount of just guys coming up lame, I mean, just look at this year alone. I mean, they lost Bieber, they lost Spencer Strider, right? And the list goes on and on. I mean, Otani last year. A lot of these are going to get Verlander was banged up, right? There's a lot of guys that Giolito, he's messed up, right? He's got the Tommy John surgery. Whitlock's has Tommy John surgery and so on. But to blame it on the pitch clock, I think, is just at best a really far reach. I mean, I can't disagree with that assumption more. And I'll tell you a couple other guys who disagree with that, and those are a couple of major leaguers, and one of them happens to be Pedro Martinez, who, for all intents and purposes, I would say is probably one of the. I've seen a lot of good pitchers, and I've seen a lot of great pitchers do a lot of great things, but I've never seen anybody like Pedro go after hitters, be as dominant. The '99 season was incredible, and I think the best game I ever watched any pitcher throw was Pedro in 2011 when no, was it 2011? 2001, excuse me, 10 years off, added one, against the Yankees where he struck out 16 men. I mean, it was an incredible performance, and I watched Roger Clemens throw 220 strikeout games. One of them was against the Brewers, no, excuse me, Seattle, and the other one was against the Tigers. And both of those teams were a bunch of free swinging, low average, strikeout heavy lineups, right? And granted, he struck out 20 men twice. It's a feat that only comes along every once in a while, and it's going to be so rare. You may never see it again because guys just don't go 8 or 9 innings, right? They don't do it anymore. They don't go complete games. It's rare in this day and age, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's a spin rate. Maybe it's the velocity these guys are throwing. I don't know, but these guys, used to. I mean, Pedro and Roger, they could go a number of complete games, and certainly deep into each and every game. But anyway, Pedro threw probably the best game I've ever seen as a sports fan or as a Red Sox fan, and we were lucky because we had Roger here for a number of years, and then we had Pedro here for a number of years. It was every night it was every time he pitched it was must see TV because you didn't know what he was going to do, you didn't know if he was going to throw one, and he never really, the only no hitter he ever threw, Pedro, was when he threw it for the Expos, and that wasn't an extra inning game, so he never really got credit for that. He threw 9 innings. And he threw a no-hitter, and he didn't get credit for it. So, but yeah, Pedro was one of the guys that really called out this whole fiasco, this whole fallacy about how guys were, about the pitch clock causing a problem. And so let me just quote him here a little bit. He says, quote, he says, when we see so many up-and-coming MLB pitchers with fewer than 200 innings in the minors, lots of muscle mass, underworked baby ligaments, and a team demanding max perfect lethal max velo on everything they throw, we're seeing the perfect lethal combination for arm injuries. He goes on to say, the analytics department has forced the young kids by pressuring them to have revolution, velocity, and spin rate. That's too much for baby ligaments. He says he wrote about how things have changed since he was developing in the minors. This is his words. When in the minors, I focused on working my ligaments. I never lifted heavy weights. Martinez continued. Times have changed, as so has training. But if you want to become a pitcher, you should strive to learn the feel for pitching and knowledge of what to do with the ball rather than throwing hard, right? So I think he lays it on the line. And, he goes on to say that he doesn't put any blame on the pitching clock. And he said, which has been cited by the Players Union, and other organizations and, certain players in the league. And then Verlander chimed in after that, and he said he was pretty much on the same wavelength as Pedro. He said everybody is throwing as hard as they can possibly throw and spinning the ball as hard as they possibly can. And he said he cited the change of baseballs that started flying out of the park in 2016, saying it changes mentality on the mound. That's how I changed. That changed how I had to approach pitching, Verlander said. So, ladies and gentlemen, for somebody to come out and say, well, we got to blame it on something, so we might as well blame it on the pitch clock, when they're trying to make everybody throw as hard as they can, max velocity rate, max speed, of course you're going to break down, and Tampa Bay's philosophy in the early years, maybe 3-4 years ago, when they started really pushing this, maybe as much as 5 years ago, was throw as hard as you can for as long as you can, and then we'll put somebody else in there, right? So, I mean,
So they had a bunch of throwers.
Yeah.
They didn't have a bunch of pitchers.
yeah,
Because pitching is way more than just throwing that ball and making it be a strike. It's location, location, location. It's knowing when to pitch, in what situation, against what hitter. Situational strategy, awareness. That's the difference between a hard thrower and a pitcher.
right,
And throwing a pitch clock at a pitcher, they're like, okay, I got to speed up the way I think about it. But I've done this a million times. I know what I should be throwing in this situation. It doesn't take me forever to figure that out. I mean, and the other thing that I think is the unconventional ways that people are throwing now. The funky releases and the sidearm and all that stuff. I said, I told Jim years ago with Chris Sale, I'm like, why does he recoil like that? Why doesn't he just follow through with his pitches? And it drives me nuts when I see a pitcher that does something that's not technologically good for their body, and they're going to wear out.
Yeah.
So there's so many other things besides a pitch clock. How much time in between pitches? Give me a break. That's not. And why are you not seeing injuries down in the minor leagues? They've had the pitch clock for years.
Yeah.
Down
Well,
there.
I think you probably are.
know.
It's just we don't see them as much. They don't get reported as much. But
that's been going on for years. You'd think that they would bring that up as an argument as to why they didn't want to go to the pitch clock.
yeah,
If that was really happening down in the minor leagues, then why wouldn't they have said, oh, no, we can't throw the pitching clock up here because look at all the injuries that they had down there.
Right.
That same thing will come forward. We don't want that.
Right.
But they never used that as an argument. So
Well,
I'm a little bit boisterous on this topic because I'm a nut for technique.
Right.
And, keeping your body in good health by using your head more than your brawn. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just when you break it all down and you hash out what Pedro was talking about, with the ligament part of this thing, and these guys don't spend a lot of time in the minor leagues. They rush them up here. They're not ready physically, body style, they might be stronger, they might be bulkier, but their ligaments haven't been used in the correct way or exercised in the correct way to get longevity, right? I mean, you look at guys like Nolan Ryan, all right? And I know Nolan Ryan's a bit of a freak, right? But the man was hardly ever hurt. Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton, you can go right down the line. You don't have to throw. Now, Ryan he could throw up to 100 miles an hour, but he didn't always throw 100 miles an hour.
Pull it out of your hat.
Right. And guys like Clemens, guys like Pedro, Pedro ran into arm injuries later on in his career. But these guys threw a lot of innings before they got to that point. They weren't like 2 years in the league and, hey, I got to have Tommy John. I mean, Pedro was throwing, 200 innings or more. So was Clemens and all those guys. Yeah. And they weren't getting hurt, right? So, I mean, they weren't, they might have been tired. They might have been worn down a little bit. They might have not been throwing, a guy like Clemens threw 96, 97, something like that, But, I mean, I'm a firm believer that if you have four pitches, let's say fastball, two-seam, four-seam, slider, sinker, breaking ball, something like that, you mix those pitches up and you mix in your fastballs when you need to, right? You throw 94, something like that. And when you really need to reach back and get one, you can throw 96, right? You get that little extra jump on the ball, and the next thing you know, you're still rolling through rolling through that lineup, and it keeps you in the game longer, because you're pitching more to contact at times, And guys that strike out a lot of people, you know, that strike out a lot of batters, they don't stay in the game that long because they're not inducing contact in the first 2 or 3 pitches. They're going 6, 5, 6, 7 pitches
Right.
every at bat. So that just amps up the pitch count, and next thing you know, they're out of the game in the sixth
Right.
inning, or maybe the fifth inning. So yeah, so it's a good topic. I like it. I like what Pedro said. I also like what Verlander said. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think if you talk to any of the old timers out there, whoever you like, Sandy Koufax, you know, you pick out anybody you like within the last 10 years, 15 years, or longer, right? Like in the case of Sandy. I think these guys will tell you exactly what Pedro and Verlander was Justin Verlander was saying, and that is, you know, get, you know, throw a few more innings, get yourself to a point where the body is equal, right? The ligaments are as strong as the muscle that you're putting on your body. You know, if you're gaining, let's say you're adding 5 or 10 pounds or 15 pounds of muscle to your body, you know, strength, then also be cognizant of just doing it the right way, right? Making sure that your body's ready to go. So anyway, that's our conversation on that. Now we're going to wrap that up, and we're going to go to the 6 hanger boxes. So we'll get this rolling.
And I have to exit stage north,
Yeah,
head upstairs for a minute. I will be right back to
Yeah.
join you all.
I'll try to hold down the fort here while you're gone. And
Sure you're equal to the task.
so let's see if we're going to get any sort of action out of these boxes. You know, I know they're probably not nearly as good as the hobbies, but hey, there is still a very good chance that we could pull a relic, an auto, something else. Let's see. First one, here we go. Let's break it open. Yeah, Pedro was one of my favorite pitchers. He really was. I was a huge fan of his. I love the way he played the game. A lot of moxie. Didn't take anything from any crap from anybody. And the man could pitch. I mean, he was certainly as good as they come. All right, Tommy LaStella, Jose Quintana, Alex Verdugo, Abreu, Joe Kelly, Javier Baez, Giolito again, Birdie, Nelson Cruz, Jose Peraza, Altuve action, Mendick, Juan Soto, nice shot of him there. AL rookie stars, we got Bobby D and Ryan Mountcastle, Cy Young Award, Dexter Fowler, Jose Ramirez, Corbin Burns. Then and now, Joe Morgan. What a player. Man, I think he won 2 MVPs. I know he's got at least one. I think he's got it. I don't know if he's got 2 or not. But he was part of the Big Red Machine. Great player. Power hitter. Could hit for average. Knew his way around the infield. Very good player. Along with Bench, Perez, Pete Rose, Don Gullett, Dreesen, Brister, all those guys. Casey Mize, Donovan Solano, Anthony Rizzo, Kyle Lewis, Garrett Cole, Anthony Santander, Evan White, Max Muncy, Luis Ariz, 2-time batting champ in the AL and in the NL. Liam Hendricks, that's our guy. We'll have him back next year. Brandon Belt, rookie stars National League, Stevenson and Contreras, another 2 good players. Paul Goldschmidt, Carson Kelly, Miller Lambert, and Luis Robert. I don't know. I don't think I saw anything in there. Just that one. Just that one insert. See what box number 2 brings us. Hanger time. So, folks, as you probably know, if you've seen the first two videos, we are giving all this stuff away. And all you need to do is watch any of the videos. Once we get 10 people and 10 comments in each video, we're going to take the 10 names, put them in randomizer.org, and then give it a couple dice rolls, and hand out all this stuff. We're breaking each of the products into, roughly 100 to 150 cards per box. We try to break the hits up and put those in there, spread them out so everybody gets a little something, and we'll throw some extra pack. We'll throw an extra pack or two in there as well. Something we've got so much stuff here. It's crazy, but anyway, yeah, it's just a little programming note there. Juan Soto, Max Fried, Freddie Galvis, World Series, Ty Buttrey, Jason Kipnis, Brandon Crawford, Jesus Lozado, Miguel Franco, Mike Yastrzemski in action, Kenta Maeda, postseason, Danny Duffy, Max Scherzer in action, Trey Turner, Brandon Lau, Kyle Schwarber, Aaron Savali. There's our insert in there, New Age Performers, Herman Marquez, Pete Alonso, Wilmer Flores, Taylor Williams, Yankees rookies, Brooks, Mookie Betts, Austin Hayes, Albert Pujols, and Carnate, Garrett Cole, Dobnak, Joey Wendell, J.D. Davis, Devin Williams, Danny Jansen, Cody Bellinger. All right, 2 down, 4 to go. Nothing good yet.
Just waiting for me to be back.
Right.
That's what it was.
Get the good vibrations going here. Man, I'll tell you that 2023 opening, huh? Last week, man, I couldn't believe it. There's so many hits. It's unbelievable. It just kept coming, no matter what we opened. Whoop, sorry about that, folks. Just knocked the camera around a little bit. I mean, we were pulling them out of the hanger boxes. We're pulling them out of the fat packs. Jeez, pulled them out of. Of course, we're gonna pull them out of the hobby, but man, that was unbelievable. All right. Cattell Marte, Chance Cisco, Matt Kemp, Stella, Quintana, Verdugo, Abreu, Kelly, Victor Reyes, Botto in action. And strikeout leaders, Gleyber Torres, Ryan McMahon, Schwarber in action. Getting ready to wind up there. Chris Paddock, Brian Hayes, Christian Vasquez, and another Clemente, the great one. Yeah, he's got I don't know, how many cards in this? Came out, I think it's like 20 or 25. Alec Boehm in that insert set. Grichuk, Keston Hiura, Cobb, Baez, Taro Estrada, Luis Robert, Kingery, Luke Voigt, Nomar Maraza, Sonny Gray, Nick Zolak. Batting leaders, Means, Severino. All right,
anytime now.
Anytime you wanna give up the ghost. We're here to help you.
Tough box.
Yeah, I should have cut it a little bit better, but I didn't. Down toward the bottom a little bit more, but I don't want to damage the cards. So I go pretty light. All right, number 4. You know, folks, we also have an eBay store, so I know I told you that in a couple previous videos, but there's a link in our YouTube page, so check it out if you're interested. Everything's graded, all mostly high-end stuff, and it's all for sports plus non-sports. So take a look if you have a moment. Eric Thames, Justin Verlander, Gregory Soto, Adam Hansley, let's see here, Jackie B, John Lester, Jacob Junis. Let's see, Acuna again. Yeah, this is I've seen this. No, I don't know. This is different now. Naylor. It's got a little rough cut on that Naylor. Charlie Blackmon, Brian Reynolds. Seeing some new stuff here. Harper, Mike Brousseau. Postseason. Anthony Rizzo. Julio Arias. Got something upside down here. Let's see here. Nunez. What do we got? Oh,
That's a nice one.
oh, it's a red. It's a red. Do you believe this? Come on. It's
Kyle
a
Schwarber.
Red, folks.
And a red auto.
Kyle Schwarber, red. Unbelievable. Wow. They don't come. Let me just say this. They don't generally, these autographs are in the hanger boxes. They're not really all that common. But apparently, we have got the luck of the Irish with us. These last couple, because we've been pulling stuff out of these.
Yeah.
That is a huge hit. Huge hit.
That's a good one.
That right there is, the Reds. These Reds, the autographs, and they're numbered to 72, as you can see right here, folks. Numbered to 72. Put that right there. They command a premium. They a guy like Schwarber could go 150. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that, especially if it were to grade out like a 10. It could go higher than that. It could go 175, 200. Wow, that's a nice hit. Sixto Sanchez, Taylor Williams. All right, so we got 2 autographs. That's pretty good. Yankees rookies, Betts, Hayes, Pujols, Yadier Molina, Ryan Mountcastle, Mize and Screwball again, Voit, Maraza, Sonny Gray, Zolak, Soto, Means, Severino, Christian Pache, and Garcia. Pache he was doing great early in the season. Boy, he's really tailed off. He's like hitting just about 200 now. I'm kind of surprised because when he came out in spring training, he was really beating up the ball. He was hitting a lot of home runs there, and and I know it's spring training. But still, he's a guy that I think a lot of people had projected to really start to come into his own. I know he's with Philadelphia now, and he really hasn't. I think he's only batting like 190 something, so he's not really tearing it up. But he just hasn't. He's still searching, kind of like Bobby, right? Bobby D. All right, number 5. Wow, still can't believe we got that Schwarber red. So holy cow, yikes. That's the way we like to get them, folks. Just like that.
And Schwarber, he's been so good wherever he goes, too.
He's a 40 home run guy. And,
He's crazy.
I don't know what he had. I can't remember what he had last year. But
he strikes out a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But he hits in the big situation.
Doesn't hit for average. But
nope. But big situation?
Yeah. Jamer Candelario. Yarborough. Yeah. Let's see here. Royals pitchers, Singer, Heath. Freeman. Freddie Freeman. Jalen Burks. Excuse me. Okay, Marlins rookies, Sixto Sanchez, Jesus Sanchez, the Sanchez boys. Gleyber Torres, Jaime Barra. Yeah. Rockies. Castellani. All right. Marco Gonzalez, Kenley Jansen. Kenley, serious.
That's a good one.
Serious face. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And ALNL again. We've seen this one. Matt Olson, seen that. Brad Keller. Here's Bubik. Yeah, 2 of them. 2 boyhood stars. Nola. Jorge Soler, Taijuan Walker, another one of the great ones from Roberto.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah. Colt Long, Alec Mills, Yadi Molina, Matt Chapman, Barrios, Zach Davies, Trey Turner in action, Zach Godley. Do you remember Zach Godley? I don't remember Zach Godley.
Nope.
When exactly did Zach Godley play for us? I don't know.
I'd have to take my phone and Google that.
Right. I don't remember him. I don't know. Maybe he's just wow. Steven Souza, Max Scherzer, Tommy Edmonds, Marlins rookies, Jesse Winker, Pete Fairbanks, and Adele Madrigal. Castellanos.
He might have been somebody that came out of the bullpen for.
I
don't know.
I guess. I don't remember.
I don't know.
All right. We're rounding the bend here. We're on the last one. And we want to thank you for stopping by, taking a look at the video, having a few laughs with us, or just hanging out, watching the break.
Feel free to make a comment if you disagree with any of our commentary. You know,
Yeah,
that
by all means.
comments don't have to be, kissing our butt.
Right.
They can be, I don't know if you're off with that spin rate thing or whatever.
No, hey, listen. It's not like we don't have tough skin.
No.
It's not all about part of being a little negative or being a little constructive is that's what I would call part of the hobby positivity. You've got to use both sides. You can't always be, oh, this guy, that guy, oh, they're so nice, come on. All right, final one. Tatis Jr. in action. Reese Hoskins, Mookie Betts, Miguel Cabrera, Will Smith again, Justin Upton, Willie Mays, Ward, Marco Gonzalez,
Is
Kenley
that serious,
Jansen.
Kenley?
Yeah. Cobb, Baez, Taro Estrada, and Luis Robert. Yeah. Ramirez, Rookie of the Year. Bo Bichette. That's a nice one of Bo. Yeah, that's a good one of him. Clayton Kershaw. Victor Robles. There's our insert. 72 flashbacks. First name AL Rookie of the Year. He deserved it.
Oh,
Byron
Fisky.
Buxton. Yeah. Taylor, Bregman, Chatwood. Anderson Tejada. Leody Taveras. Josh Hader. Mauricio Dubon. And the Mets rookies, Peterson, Jimenez, Wheeler, Mike Talkman, Miguel Michael Pineda, jeez, can't even talk.
Mike.
Yeah,
same
Miguel,
thing.
Mike, yeah, Michael Pineda. I don't even know if he's still around. Joey Gallo, J.B. Crawford, Joey Bart. Basho was in there too. Ryan Jeffers, yeah. Three pretty good guys. Tim Anderson, struggling. And Montero.
Well, 2 autos.
Yep. So, yeah, let's do a little recap here. Now, I probably did miss the, if there was a Chrome card in there, I must have missed it because I didn't see it. But
I didn't see it.
But we'll go back and look at them and see if there's anything else. But the 2 autos that we did get, which was outstanding. I mean, for Heritage, this is, folks, if you get 2 out of 1 hobby box and 6 hangers, if you get 2 autos, you have over and above achieved what the goal that you were trying to raise your level up to. So yeah, we overachieved here. We got Schwarber, which is red, which is numbered to 72, and we got Chaz Chisholm. It's a blue, and it's not numbered, but those are the 2 highlights. We've got some, there's short prints in there, which, they're probably not a big deal. I mean, they're part of the set. So, and there's some inserts in there, some interesting inserts. But there might be something else. We'll take a look. And we did have that image variation, right?
Yeah.
So we had that as well. But other than that, those were the highlights. And I think we did okay. So we're going to wrap this thing up. Again, we want to thank you for tuning in to the channel, and certainly feel free to give us a like, leave a comment. Either way, something you like, something you didn't like. If it's something you want to see us open, we've got a lot of product here from all different years, different decades. Yeah, just leave us a comment, and we'll take a look at them and we'll go from there. So with that, we're gonna sign off, and until next time, we will see you then.